have him online tonight to discuss a very important topic with him. I know he's going to educate us. So wherever you are, get ready and let's set the ball rolling. Lawyer Arthur Wemega, emranimni ebano akwentumu ansabsam eba America hadia. Papa wadomu esukopa na wabuya Ghana fu bebre enya Ghana fu nko a ebibrim ha ene embia bebre amanfo afa nansem a wotumi amu agina wo monanso ehunu kwan a esese wo fa so tutu wo nuama ewo America kroduam ha ne office no ewo New York osanso obi wo New Jersey ha nti it tells you say edwuma no wawo mu ache owasue hunu men jebre bebre mepese menya lawyer yi mebisa no a kire me embredudu a wawom as an immigration lawyer. Lawyer Arthur Wemega, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Kinsley.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How about you?
Fine, thank you. We're also doing good. Are you okay with Chi, or we're going to blend it?
We have to blend it. I speak a bit of Chi, but it's not.
All right.
It's not like yours.
We'll manage it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you for joining us tonight. I know lawyer is in New Jersey, but you play major in New York as well, right? That's where your office is.
Yes. But in terms of immigration, because it's a federal area of practice, we take cases from all over the U.S.
Oh, beautiful. So you are everywhere. Oh, okay.
Yes,
thank you.
Absolutely.
How long have you been in U.S. and how long have you practiced immigration law in America?
Well, I came to the U.S. in the early 80s, but I've been a lawyer since 2000, so that's been about 25 years.
Beautiful. It means you've gotten a lot of experience in terms of very good. Thank you. I know you have also helped a lot of people, those who are struggling, need not to, what to do and what not to do whenever they step here. I know you give guidance on what to do. I believe so. A lot of people have passed through your hands. Is that it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 25 years, I've had quite a few cases.
Because of time, I want us to go straight to the point. We know what is happening in America currently with the declaration of the president, Donald Trump's deportation issue. I know a lot of people are affected and still people are panicking. They don't know what to do. Right now, if you go out there and somebody even calls, you don't even want to turn your back and watch who is calling you. You are focused going your way because there is total panic in town. What will you tell everybody who might be affected by this decision of the president?
Well, in those terms, the general advice that we're giving our clients is that, if you're approached by any law enforcement agency, ICE or any immigration officials on the street, just don't say anything. Because whatever you say, they're noting it, and they're taking note of it, and later on they might use those things against you. But in those terms, a lot of people feel that if they say something, maybe an action will not be taken against them then. But it is wrong. If you're undocumented, whatever you say, it will not matter to them. They'll still take you in. And whatever you say, will be used against you. So you have to be careful. My general advice is just don't say anything. If they have to take you in, let them take you in, and then we'll deal with that on the back end.
Oh, okay. So if someone is well documented, and even they approach you and you decide not to talk, will they take you even if you show your ID?
Yeah, listen, this thing is very fluid, right? They're in a rush to do certain things. So if they come and there are four of you in the room, and they feel that you're all illegal, they're taking you all in, no matter what you say or don't say. Now, if you're a citizen, a U.S. citizen, and you have your, maybe your passport or proof that you're a U.S. citizen, then it behooves, in that case, yeah, you just show it to them. And then they'll know that you're a U.S. citizen, and then they won't take you in. If you're a green card holder, I'll say the same thing. Show it to them, and then let them, they should not take you in. Okay? Now, the third group of people are people who are here as students or visitors, and they have their visas are current.
Okay.
Right? Right. Those people too, you can show them your visa, you can show them that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then they should not take you in. Now, obviously, the last group of people are people who are here, who are undocumented or have been to court and they've been ordered removed from the U.S. and are still here. I mean, those people, they're going to take you in, and then, they're going to decide what to do with you. Some people we cannot help, other people we may be able to help. But if you're in the last group of people, that is when you should just not say anything to them.
I believe this is not the first time we are seeing, but look as if this one has been more massive and has brought a lot of fear than the previous years. Have there been any point in time that you've experienced this whereby an immigrant might call you that this is where I am at the moment, we need your support, and you have had the chance to help?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get calls from people who've been detained, who are in detention centers all the time. And, then we have to rush there and deal with it immediately. Or people who have to go to court on a certain date, they don't have a lawyer at the time, and they see that, oh, now I need a lawyer. So they give us a call, we show up, we do what we need to do. And if there's any kind of relief for them, we apply for those kind of reliefs, and then, they are let go. If there's none, then there's none, But it's best to have a conversation with your lawyer, before things go south, so at least he has an idea of what's going on, and he prepares for the day that you might need him. Okay. Yeah.
Let me remind you that we are having a chat with Dr. Arthur Wemega. He's a lawyer by profession in America here for 25 years, as you heard from him. He's stationed in New York and New Jersey, but he applies everywhere in all the 50 states. So wherever you need his services, lawyer is available to be of help. Thank you very much once again, lawyer. Also, when you have any question right now, the time is so limited. I may leave him because he's so much tight, and I try my best to bring him tonight. So whatever question you have, you can send it on the YouTube. I'll read it for him. You can also call and ask your question briefly so that we will end this program. Thank you. Lawyer, thank you very much. So currently, if you receive a call right now, and it's a Ghanaian. Now, lawyer, my uncle gave me your number, but this is where I find myself. I was, picked up just today. What will you do?
Well, first of all, I'll obviously need certain information from you. So I need your name. If you have what we call an alien registration number or the A number, I'll need it. And then I'll need your location, where you've been detained. And then based on that, I'll be able to reach out to that facility. Maybe if it's close enough, I can pop in. We do what we need to do. We sign certain documents that will show that I represent you. And then I contact the person who's in charge of you, and then we deal with whatever they're accusing you of. Typically, because of your status, they'll issue you what we call a notice to appear in court. We call that the NTA, notice to appear. And those who lay out the charges against you, they'll say that you came here on such and such a date. You overstayed the time you were given to stay. You are from a certain country, and so you are subject to removal. Those are the charges they are going to lay against you. I'm going to look at your particular situation. If there's any form of relief, maybe you're married to a green card holder, maybe you're married to a citizen, maybe you've gotten some other kind of status that did not appear on their documents. We'll deal with all that. And, if there's any form of relief, we'll ask the court that, oh, okay, you have, we accept certain charges, we don't accept certain charges. And based on my client's current situation, we're asking for this form of relief. If the court agrees, they will give us more time to do what we need to do and then get you out. Yeah.
Lawyer, this word immigrant, people are calling immigrant. I believe we have so many forms of immigrant or department within this immigrant. Who falls within this immigrant that might be affected?
Well, anybody who's here from another country
is an immigrant.
Is basically an immigrant. Now, people come here in various forms, right? That's what makes a difference. Some people don't have visas, and they cross over the border and sneak in. Those are the people we call they are entering without inspection. Nobody has seen them. They're just here. If you ask them, how do you come? They can't tell you that this is their port of entry. This is a visa type they have, etc. And then there are those who go to the embassies in their countries or the consulates abroad and get a visa either to come to school, to visit, to come and pursue some kind of career, H-1B, you get a B2 visa as a visitor, you get an F visa, F1 visa as a student, you get an H-1B as a worker, all those people are immigrants, but those are immigrants that are here temporarily. So they don't get to stay after the period of authorized stay is over. Now, a lot of our people come here on B2 visas, tourist visas, and then just stay on. So those people are also, at that point where they overstay, their authorized stay become undocumented in the sense that they don't have authority to stay here.
Some believe that the moment you receive 5 years multiple visa, that's it. So they think that once he's here, if he spent 1 year, he still have the visa, valid visa. Is that the case?
No, that's a misconception. And I've had a lot of clients who've argued with me, about those situations. Now, when you get a 5-year visa, all it means is that within that 5-year period, you can come to the U.S., based on that, But at your point of entry, when you come to JFK or you come to D.C. or you come to Texas, wherever your port of entry is, the immigration officer who looks at your visa or your passport will tell you, okay, I see that you have a 5-year visa, but you are only authorized to stay here for 6 months, Right, 6 months. Now, that even though you have a 5-year visa, it doesn't mean that you're allowed to stay here 5 years. It only means that you're allowed to stay here 6 months because of what the officer told you, and that will be what will be on your records. Okay, so it behooves you to leave, before your time is up. If you stay longer than 6 months, then obviously you've overstayed your welcome here, and then they can take any action against you. Okay, so that 5-year thing that people think that, oh, because I have a 5-year visa, I can stay here for up to 5 years is a misconception, and we should try and let our people know that's not the case.
And say visa B1 B2. na 5 years multiple na waba amane nya wadwun say wo ha 5 years and a lawyer kano as I say wo akwanya say obatinam 6 months and no immigration officer na be decide ebi mu kura ho ye ma 3 months or pa discretion into no ya na bebre sa na ye omadwen lawyer enrande ya omo assign menua bi ewo immigration no the B1 B2 na eba na oduru airport no say ni ticket odeba no wanye return nti omo ka chan say onkuta return ticket nti won asana cancel no visa enre ya eno no ede na obetimi aye ho.
Well, there's nothing you can do because at the time you got your visa, Omukashira will say, this is a tourist visa, so you obviously have to go back when you come to the U.S. for a visit. You're not expected to stay forever. So if you're coming here now, watch your ticket one way. It means you don't intend to go back, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, immigration officer, sees that, can tell. Say, you don't intend to go back. So at that point, he can refuse you entry. And there's nothing you can do, And they can, even though you have a valid 5-year visa, at the point of entry, they can decide to cancel that visa right there, for any number of reasons. They take a look at your phone and it says that you are coming here to work. Say all those things, can be used against you. And based on that, they can turn you back right away.
There's no chance to appeal for any reason.
Yeah, remember, say all these visa entries, they're mostly discretionary. They're mostly discretionary. And what we mean by that, say, when you're going for a visa, they have certain things you have to provide for them. You have to prove certain things for them to be able to give you the visa, right? You can provide everything they want, and they will still reject. They'll still decide not to give you the visa, maybe for one or two reasons, whatever the reasons are, and most of the time these things you cannot appeal them, so we call them discretionary exercise of whoever is interviewing you. You think that you're answering the question right, your body language doesn't speak right, some of the questions, you fumble with them and, they become suspicious. And, even though you have all the documents, they can still reject you. Same thing when you come to the point of entry, the airport in the U.S. or, however you're coming in. When you come there and they're questioning you, they're looking at all these things, your body language, the way you answer certain questions. Some people don't know where they're going to be staying when they come in. That's a big red flag, and all these things, they will assess them and then decide, say, look, this guy, he's being shifty. We don't want him here. And then, they turn you away.
Wow. Lawyer, let's come to those who watch one more far or Brazil on the Nemua, Panama, Costa Rica, no be Piemu, Mexico, na Yayana Dumna with Hurubod and Neburum, no be Uremu Via, Naya Mana Kratabia, what they call Quaye, Odikodi Druno, Salam no. No, qua a biwa, Naya Grantua, Salam no. Ya Grantua. Does it mean say we because obi why a grantina near man krato de be adwuma ofi say we and one no san crofo bi san so obi wo krom ha situation say no yeso no wo approval kra no still or your suspect and also or your victim.
Now for those coming across the border without visas, there are two ways you can enter, when you're coming through let's take, for instance, the Mexico border. Some people just sneak in without meeting any immigration officials, right? Those people are called, entry without inspection for, the EWI, or they entered without having seen an immigration officer. For those people, there's very little relief for them. Those people who came in without being inspected or speaking to an immigration officer at the border, there's very little, relief for them. There are some forms of relief, but it's not easy. Now, those who come to the border and tell their officer, look, I don't have a visa, but I'm coming here because, in my country, we have certain issues, we have certain issues. I'm gay and, I'm being prosecuted in my country, so I'm seeking political asylum here, those people, it's fine. You come in, we file your political asylum claim, and based on that, you get work authorization until the court can resolve your application for So in the meantime, because you have work authorization, you're authorized to work, but it doesn't mean that you've been granted, you've been approved to stay here. Your case is still in court until the judge says that, okay, I'm granting you political asylum, so now you can apply for your green card. Until then, you don't have a green card. You're not authorized to stay here in that sense. You're only here at the discretion of the court until they can resolve your case. So that, and people think that because they have work authorization, it means, they're legal. No, it only authorizes you to work.
Lawyer, Obi say me misa say ode okofa ne ho kafo efri Ghana by na oba no ode B1 B2 no ode apply na yema no so oba visit ne ho kafo ne de oya hasni or a citizen oba ye no wabe stay manabro so na eburusu wie ye no ansa na ne ho kafo no yese obefale ama no ewa ha na ose wo mo de atum na nso bibia mbae sa nipa no yeso no mu a ize ne we ya ne ho kani no we ha ne no betimi a protect no.
I mean, the law allows you as a U.S. citizen to file for your spouse.
Right.
Now, because you came here on a B2, yes, I mean, I've done a million of those cases. People have overstayed their visa, they're married to a U.S. citizen, so they're applying based on that. No, yes, you can get your green card through that, But if your spouse over here is just a green card holder and you've overstayed, then there are obviously certain situations where you have to go back home and what we call consular process. You're married, you go back, they file for you, and then you come back, with an ID visa, immigrant visa, and then you can get your green card through that, But in this case, your viewer who said he's a citizen and the wife came on a B1 B2. Yes, absolutely, he can file for her and she'll be safe. Now, I say that with caution only because right now the landscape is changing. So tomorrow we don't know what Donald Trump is going to say. But as the law stands right now, absolutely, he in fact he has already filed for her, So yes. He's in good standing, Very soon they'll call them for an interview if they don't, if they haven't provided, sufficient documents. They'll call them for an interview. They'll go for the interview, and everything will work out, God willing.
Lawyer, with 25 years of experience as an immigration lawyer, I believe that you have learned or read much about America's Constitution. With what the president currently doing, is it constitutional?
Some of it is, and some of it is not. The typical example, is this his claim that if you were born here to illegal parents, you don't have what we call birthright citizenship. The law, the 14th Amendment said that anybody who's born on U.S. soil, is automatically a U.S. citizen unless you're a diplomat or something. But yes, if you're born here, you're a U.S. citizen. The executive order that the president issued that people who are born of illegal immigrants cannot be U.S. citizen is just garbage. It's been challenged in court, and there's no way he's going to win that one. So yeah, absolutely. If you're born here in the U.S. To whatever kind of parents, whether they are citizens, green card holders, or even illegal immigrants, once you're born here, you're a citizen of the U.S.
And in any case,
the Constitution, the 14th Amendment said that. Yeah, it gets you that right.
In that case, let's see, the child is about 2 years, and now he or she is a citizen, but the parents are not. When they grab the parent right now and they have to deport, they have to go with their child.
Well, the child is a U.S. citizen. Now, if the parents are being deported, the parents have to make a decision whether to take their child with them. Nobody can stop them. It's their child. They can take their child, their U.S. citizen child, to wherever they came from. But the child cannot be deported on by right, he's supposed to be here. He's a U.S. citizen. Now, the parents, have to decide whether you want to go with your child or you want to leave them with somebody who's here legally and can agrees to take care of them, and then you make the necessary arrangements before you leave. So yeah, that's the situation.
Sorry. I was there for major lawyer na wako sisi a ubetimi aframe line no 732-790-9595 on WhatsApp 848-260-0913. Wo fra wa asembisa bi obetimi bisa na ayasa so dia mema lawyer ko efise ye can di ho nkomo e wata krom ha time enya agrokora ebre eni ho mani pasa eduma bebre egunu so lawyer obisi mimisa we Emmanuel na yenhwe kwan a obafa su enya emwa o se ono nso obaye with B1 B2 ya bi na o stay for 5 months 3 weeks and opie ye.
Okay.
The next time orba no also one catch and say you overstay into one man and wurem. I didn't hear.
Well, it wasn't because he overstayed. He can only have overstayed if he went beyond the 6 months that he was given. Right. Possibly. What I'm suspecting is that not everybody is given 6 months. Sometimes people are given 3 months.
Very good. Very good.
So if you stay 5.5 months, you've overstayed. Now, the other reason they give usually is that, listen, there's a B1, B2 visa, right?
Yes.
It's a tourist visa. You say you're just coming to visit the U.S. and come back. You have a 5-year visa, so they give you 6 months to stay, look at the country, and go back. You stay here 5.5 months, and then 2 weeks later, you show up again at the border, at the airport, saying that, I have a visa, I want to come in, I never overstayed, They become very suspicious of that.
Okay.
What are you doing in your country that allows you to come and stay here 5.5 months? 2 weeks later, after you return to your country, you're coming back here to kind of do what?
So, like, advisably, very good. Advisably, if someone comes and he was given 6 months, let's say the person spent 5 months and goes back, advisably, how long do you think the person should, decide to come back again and receive another 6 months?
Well, again, these things are discretionary. If I was in the person's shoes, I'm not coming back for a year at the very least. Some people come back after 3 months, and it becomes an issue depending on who's interviewing you at the airport. They're like, you were just here 3 months ago, and you're coming back for another visit. It becomes an issue. So those things, again, remember, these things are discretionary, so you should use your, you should advise yourself. If you say you're working in Ghana, even if you're a business person, you must have a business to run. You must be there to run your business, or, however you take care of your business. You can't come here, spend 5.5 months seeing the sites in the US, go back and come back after 2 months and say that you're coming for another visit. They use their common sense. They're like, this is not possible, or this is not likely, so we're refusing you entry. And because it's discretionary, they can do that,
And the moment they refuse you entry, they destroy your visa.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they don't destroy it, but most likely, it raises all kinds of red flags. Even after 2 years, you're coming back, It raises all kinds of flags. They noted in your passport that, you came here, 5 months, you went back, you came after 2 weeks, we refuse your entry. Next time you're coming, maybe after 2 years, all those things are in your file. They're going to take a look at it, and whoever is interviewing you at the airport and decide, say, I don't like the vibe I'm getting from this guy because of this and this and this, and then they refuse you again. Even though your visa has not been technically canceled, they can still refuse you based on past actions.
Lawyer, young Crawford, about time wahana omuni and krataya yaka wasami. Na omumba ensu ni bi na omumba ehihye other schools mu no afutuo be na wode bema because amasi se bebre esure se omodo mumba kura be ko school na nso kroma nso wamfa akora nko school a eno nso ayasam fofora wo batan obenya problem na akora no ko school nso na oni niama yi bi enye humma awofo.
Oh yeah, I mean these are bad times, sometimes your options are limited. If a child must go to school on Nkrata, but he must go to school, no, you as a parent must make that decision. If they go to school, anything can happen there. I've not heard of any instances where they are going into schools now, but I know that they have the government's blessings to do these things. They're even talking about them being able to go to churches, where the churches are housing, people, protecting people. Now they have the ability to go there and seek them out. So just in the same way, they can go to the schools and hunt people down. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine who's a medical officer, a doctor in Philadelphia. And she works, with a lot of undocumented people. Now, because they know her clinic, they're all afraid to come in to seek medical attention. They're all afraid to come in. Somebody went to the emergency room when it was going, says he saw ICE officers outside the hospital. So they didn't go. So these are rough times for everybody. If you're sick and you have to go to the hospital, you have to make a decision. Is it bad enough that I need to go, or Look, I'll tell your people that one thing they should do is they should always know, let somebody know where they are. If you're detained and you don't have my number, you can't call me, right?
Right.
So you have to have all those things in place. You have a lawyer's number. You have some money set aside for these things. Possibly, my clients, I'm telling them to tell their friends, if you want to retain me, now is the time to do it. So that I have that paper that says that I represent you. So once I know where you are, it's not now that I have to come to you to come and sign certain documents. I have it already. I can give it to them right away, and then they will have to deal with me. So take all those preemptive actions, before these guys catch up with you.
I was me the lawyer phone number and our today. Masra was pick number no 212-280-6538 212-480-6581 and your fax but top one phone number no 212-480-6538 lawyer who will be out of the back and now we are okay.
No, that's fine. The only other thing is, I don't always pick up the phone because I'm involved with something. If nobody picks up the phone, make sure you leave a number, your name and your number, and the matter that you're calling about. Because I have a million calls, if you don't leave a message, it's not likely that I'll be able to return your call.
Right. And to what friend a call voicemail na say be on my office. But more than na ubeja wudi wa phone number oba fra wo back. Na ya ponso a wo de wa fra me ma kira wo kwan a ubekọ lawyer ho na address na ewo screen no na bibie ne a ye dre abri ose obi amfa ne ho ngigya. Ukọ bebi afa ho ngigya. Ma wunu ya bi hu bebi a worekọ ama ochina bi ye na yetimi aboa ye ho anya sade a na anko ansade yepe lawyer mema me bi si mbisa na onya green card na okọ Ghana na okotena asia bosome nwotwe in fact all back no bedru ye no wonom amfa ncha no kura nanso omuma ne wurem no mka chese ye de gbo okoko hwena wanye sade ma ye sade ya next time ye mfa ho ncha sese oso person sanko Ghana no kodi be 6 weeks bi no ba every way obe advance so onko ana won twan kakra.
Well, with all these things, no. How long ago did she come back?
I say okodi 6 weeks.
No. But Osi Okodi, when was the last time she came back to the US?
That was 2020.
Oh, 2020. Yeah, I mean, she can go if she's only going to spend 6 weeks. You're allowed to spend up to 6 months outside the country if you're a green card holder. Now, if you intend to stay longer than that, I say you have to get permission from them, before you leave. Tell them that you're going to spend maybe a year in Ghana. And they will give you some document that shows that they've given you permission to be able to stay out that long.
Okay.
But if it's just 6 months, 6 weeks, yeah, you can go and come.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ebushia, I'm say asembia media ewo menche mebisa enti sawuni bibia like I said no me the lawyer ni phone number at to screen. Bombodi ana pick number no na fia se obefriend na wenya bibi asha ho sana edwumedie bia for all you know most of us in yanama yeni lawyer bia no ma wo ho. This is one thing you should know at this moment in there we hear lawyer phone number now they are sharing because when most of now say my friend lawyer so anya de omo be ma kwa mo wegina omo anim aye phone kwa fra lawyer and yes sir.
Yeah. Yeah, not likely say, if they catch up with you, they just bundle you, put you in there and take you to detention. Now the detention facility, then you'll be able to call. But if you don't have the number on you, then it becomes an issue.
Lawyer adena I one more yes so mo ayado mo kono. Yadi chen egugu ansa no mo nan. Bone be no mo ayo.
Well, that's a thing. Donald Trump, a showman.
Abba.
That should not be the case unless the people are resisting any nyama. He should not be putting them on military aircraft to take them, where to Colombia or wherever it is that he's taking them. He should not be doing that, but he's doing that to show his followers, he's cracking down on illegal immigrants, people in chains, people in, so it's putting a lot of fear in people who are here undocumented, and even though it may not be legal, which judge is going to tell him to stop? Yeah, it's just a show of force,
Yo, yeah. Lawyer, I want to thank you so much, but before I take leave of you, just put out the one advice or few advice to all Ghanaians, because I will repost this interview again for the sake of those who couldn't have time to watch us, so that in case they have any question next time, they'll be able to contact you for. So what advice will you give to all of us right now?
Yeah, my advice to people is that if you're in a situation where, you could be picked up, you should limit your movements. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. If you don't have to go to the African store. Recently, we learned of the Chicago Salaga Market incidents where they said, people went there. If you have no business there, don't go there. If you can send somebody to go and get you the thing, send somebody, rather than you go out and then, you get caught up with all these things. So stay where you are, The other thing is, if you're at home and anybody comes knocking, I'm from ICE, I have this, I have that, you don't have to open the door.
But they can't break the door, so as long as they see you in and you don't want to open, they won't break it?
They can't break the law. They can't break the door. They can't break that. I'm not saying they will not. They should not. I'm saying they should not.
Right.
But with these, some people take extrajudicial action and do what they want. They're supposed to have a warrant to be able to enter your house, to search or whatever. They're supposed to have that. If you are in that house and you don't open the door, they don't have a right to just come in. Okay. Now, the kind of warrant they have is also important. If they say they have a warrant from ICE or from immigration, you don't have to obey that warrant. It has to be from a federal judge.
Okay, and that warrant must bear your name on it.
Yeah, it must bear your name. It must bear your name. Even at that point, if I was in a situation like that, I'm probably not opening any doors for anybody. Because I don't know what a warrant looks like, in the case of your listeners, no. They don't know what a warrant looks like. So if somebody shows them something, how they determine that that's a correct warrant, I'm not opening any doors, Let them sit outside my house, and then if I go out, they can deal with me.
Yeah, someone just sent a message. It says, he also don't have this enkrataya yakanwasemi, but our ticket, the ticket enye payable online. I just saw appear or court. Intino wakope lawyer ni Ghana ni. Nanso ni ono yana se ni ticket no okokwa no. Should okojina court na se ICF wo hwa na ye ne den. Nti onko anamonko.
No, well, the two things, right? If you don't go, the court is going to, tack on some more things or even issue a warrant for your arrest, right? So you have to make an informed decision. Do I want to face that, or do I want to take the chance and go to court, pay my ticket, go home? If you go to court, right now the ICE has permission to, stand in the hallways and question anybody. So they can do that. If they pick you up, they pick you up. So you have to make an informed decision. I, as a lawyer, cannot tell you not to obey a judge's order to come and, pay your ticket in court.
Wow.
But you, as an undocumented alien, has to advise you. You have to advise yourself. It's just the best action for me. Yeah.
Lawyer, we want to thank you so much, but I wanted you to tell us your office, but I have been able to screenshot your complimentary card on screen, so you have your address, everything on it. Is there anything you want to add up to what I've put in on screen, or that's enough for them to be able to use as their point of contact?
That should be enough. The only thing is that with my office, it's strictly by appointment. If you cannot meet me in person, I do Zoom calls with a lot of my clients, because it's more convenient for everybody around.
Right.
If we need to sign documents, I can send it to you on email, and, you sign and mail them to me or scan them and send them to me. But absolutely. My address is in Manhattan, 17th State Street. Suite 4000, New York, New York, 10004. Phone number is 212-480-6538, you know. And yeah, you can reach me at any time if I don't, you know, I'm not asking for midnight calls. I'm not asking for 9 p.m. calls, you know, because when I get home, I'm home.
All right. Thank you so much, lawyer, for your time with us. We so much appreciate it. And I believe that we are well educated on this very topic. People were expecting it. So we thank you for your time. We'll get back in case we need some clarifications later. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
KS Jesse Radio.